Welcome to a new studio vlog, a new week. Today's Monday the 8th of November and I'm changing up my routine a bit. I'm going to give it a week and see how it feels. I probably should give it a month. I've got a smoothie here too. It's 10 o'clock now, so I've started, last night I sat down and I wrote in my notebook a massive list of basically everything that I do, generic stuff for the week, which is kind of a long list. So it's stuff like Pinterest content, Facebook content, Instagram content, although Facebook I kind of link from Instagram, so it's not really an entity on its own. Canva images, Photoshop stuff, editing blogs, photography for things, wholesale outreach, PR outreach, education/membership, so showing up to calls and trying to work on that stuff, website updates, newsletter updates, sweary cat stuff, product development. I mean, I think there's probably more in that. And then I've got personal stuff like I like to train, go for a walk, journal, read, whatever. So I was thinking that since I've been really busy with launching new stuff, everything's kind of got all jumbled up and I'm doing stuff as and when, and I want to have more structure again, which I used to have, but I think that every time I launch something, basically that goes a little bit out the window. So I wrote my list, and then I wrote on the next page a basically Monday to Saturday. Sundays are a definite day off, and if I want to do personal projects like my clay or stuff like that, then that's fine, but Monday to Saturday, and Saturday being just basic stuff like a vlog edit, although that does take quite a long time. And then I've split my day into morning and evening, and sort of more evening, afternoon. So before 10 o'clock is my time, and I'm not going to start work till 10, and whether I choose then to have a lay-in or do what I did today and get up early, go for a walk, do some training, have a shower, have breakfast and start work. So it's really, before 10 o'clock is my time, and if I choose to sleep all the way through till 9:45 and then get up and start work, that's my own thing if I'm tired or whatever. So there's structure to that day. And then between 10 and 1 I've got my more kind of project-based creative pieces of work to do, and then in the afternoon I've got more admin tasks to do or content creation, that kind of stuff. So I've split that up, and I'm going to try and put that now onto my calendar. So for a Monday, I've put down in my book, I've put Monday morning, so website updates, Etsy, and Photoshop, and inventory. So basically just catching up with myself in terms of inventory, if I've got new products to upload. If I haven't got any of that stuff to do, then basically that time will become a creative time. So product development, painting, whatever I want to do, to kind of develop new products. I'm really hot, I'm so hot. And then the afternoon today, I've split it into 2 weeks. So I've got one which is newsletter creation, and I send out 2 newsletters a month. So I want to kind of draft some content for newsletters, and then the next Monday will be Instagram content creation. I try and create 2 weeks worth of ideas and content per time that I sit down to do it. So that's the plan. But the first thing is I want to put it back into I still have a paper diary, which I really love, but I want it on my electronic diary as well, because I want it to send me alerts and things. And I still like putting everything into a paper planner because that's just how my brain works, but also if I'm out and about and I'm booking things in, I need to know where I can slot things in. So I'm going to start by adding in all of the stuff that I've thought about so far, and then go from there. And I'm going to do that all whilst I drink my breakfast. I've just come downstairs because I've got to finish an Instagram post that I really want to get up today. It's sort of time sensitive because it says November on it. So I want to get that illustrated and finished, but I just thought I'd come down and check. Over the weekend I primed up some of my clay things. I primed up this little dish here and these beads, and also this little, what will be a decoration. And they got primed with this, which is the white gesso primer from Galleria. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to really, really quickly sand off some of the other pieces that are finally dry, I think, some of them. Not all of them, I have a whole load behind me. Not all of them are dry, but some are, and I'm going to quickly sand those. So when I'm sitting here doing some digital art, I can be putting coats of paint on sporadically as they dry, and I can do that. So that's what I'm going to do now. The sanding is quite messy. I'm going to have to take it outside and do that, so I won't show you that. But yeah, and then I want to get painting on these a little bit later on. But first of all, sanding some of these pieces, and then digital artwork before anything else. I'm already stepping away from my calendar I've just set up just for this morning. I can pick it back up again this afternoon, just because I need to get a couple of these things done fairly urgently, so that's the plan. Good morning, it's Wednesday today. I have just come out for a walk. It's about 7:45. I did bring the camera yesterday morning when I came out for a walk, but I forgot to put the memory card in it, which was useful. And to make it even worse, I was chatting away to the camera and didn't read the screen saying there was no memory card, so that happened. This morning I just popped to the post box because I had a couple of orders from Etsy to post, Sweary Cats order. Don't forget, by the way, we have Sweary Cats, which is on Etsy. Just you can search Sweary Cats, and at the moment I was supposed to do a whole Christmas launch, but because of many things that are going on, I haven't had time. I'm going to talk to you about that on the walk, hopefully. But yeah, there's still some notepads on there. They are really cool. I put one on the screen right here. They say shit to do, and they've got a cheeky little cat, and there's lots of little cheeky little details in there, like what's on his mug and all of those things. And also lots and lots of sweary pencils. At the moment there's two designs. Am I going to sneeze? Two designs, one that says off you fuck and the one that says trundle on tosser, which I just find hilarious. You can buy them in a pack of two and I just love them. And next year is going to be the year for Sweary Cat. It's going to be releasing a lot more stuff, but this year I didn't want to rush it and get the designs wrong, so there we go. Let's walk. Right guys, we are on the walk, and I hope this doesn't make you travel sick. I understand that on a big screen, if you're watching this on a TV or something, me wandering along is probably not for the best, but I've got shit to do. It's such a beautiful morning. Actually, it's just as well that my camera didn't work yesterday morning, because it was so foggy and drizzly, it probably wouldn't have helped my camera at all. So I thought I'd tell you very, very briefly about the news that I've been harping on about. It's going to be a bit of an anticlimax for you, because I'm sure you were hoping for better. But the only reason that I haven't told you is because we were waiting for confirmation of it happening. And now we have it. So let me tell you. So basically, in the house that we live in now, we rent, but the house we live in now, we were only supposed to have 2 years in it because the landlord is coming home. He lives on the Isles of Scilly. Actually saw him on TV the other week. He's in charge of the Royal Botanical Gardens on Scilly's, and he was on there being interviewed by someone on like a BBC Country File programme or one of those kind of programmes. That was quite surreal. Anyway, he's coming home, so we had to find somewhere else to live. And thought there was a tractor coming, sorry guys. So yeah, the rental market in the area that we live in now, thanks to the pandemic, is insane. And houses that, as an example, houses that would have been on for like £900 a month are now £1,800 a month or something. So yeah, we've had to make a decision to move. I keep thinking I hear an engine. We've had to make a decision to move quite a way back towards Devon. We're still over the Cornwall border just, but we're going to be moving an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes away from where we are now, which is more rural and less coastal. But there's only, I mean, in Cornwall you're never far from a beach, but we're going to be 25 minutes away from the beach. which is, you know, our whole thing was like living in Cornwall and wanting to be near the sea and stuff, and we still will be, but we've also got to be very realistic on budgets. It means I will still have an office to myself, which is awesome, and it's going to be a big move because it looks like we might be moving towards near Christmas time, which we'll see about. Sorry, I'm just getting you on the other hand. Nice angle. We'll see how that works out. It might be that we have to move before Christmas. We're still waiting for all of these things to kind of finalise. Everything's so much more complicated now because of the pandemic, but nothing is straightforward. There's so many people going for every opportunity in terms of moving. It's insane. So that's happening. That's what the news is. We are moving, but we will still be in Cornwall, just literally 10 minutes from the border of Devon. I love Devon, so that's no biggie, but I was stressing because I was thinking that all of the back of my cards and stuff says designed and printed in Cornwall, UK, and I didn't want to have to change that because Cornwall was always the dream. But then I also love Devon, and that wouldn't have been a hardship. But yeah, so things are changing. It's kind of weird because, you know, this is the area that was the dream and we made it happen, and I started the business here. So all of the stuff that I wanted to make happen in my life has been happening. And I look around, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. But then the area we're going to is also beautiful. Different setup. We're not so isolated. Like now we live on a single lane road. It's really quiet. It still will be fairly quiet, but it's a different setup. But, you know, needs must. You have to find somewhere to live. And I'm not complaining. It's more accessible to friends and family. It's closer to things that are, we're far west Cornwall here, so it's a different setup altogether. So that's the news. Nothing, I told you, it's an anticlimax for you. You probably were hoping for something better, but it's a big deal for us, and means I've got to uproot all of my Leaf Lane Studio stuff. So I'm very excited about that. So it's a new era for Leaf Lane Studio, and 2022 is also going to be hopefully bigger and better for me too. So that's the news. Walk done. I only did a half an hour one today. As I was on the walk, I was thinking to myself about what I needed to do today, and I've made a decision that I'm going to today apply to the Eden project as a supplier. I know the chances are really slim. It's been on my goal list for a while, and at one point, probably about, I don't know, 6 or 8 months ago, I decided to apply, and the online form came to a part where it required a sustainability statement, and I didn't have one at that time. Obviously I was doing sustainable things in the business, but I didn't have a statement, and now I have one. So I'm gonna go online. With the Eden project, basically you have to go through several stages of a form, and I don't think you can save it as you go, from my experience. So you have to, I applied to several stages of the form, and then I hit the sustainability statement and had to dip out, and I couldn't save. So I'm going to go back in. I know I'm going to be positive. I mean, I stand a chance because I fit in with their kind of branding a bit, I guess, or whatever I'm trying to, the look of what they like. I've been in their gift shop so many times. I love their gift shop. So I'm gonna apply, and I know the chances are small, but I'm sharing it with you just because, you know, I'll tell you the highs and the lows as promised. So I'm gonna apply and see what happens. I mean, that would open up some doors to me in terms of just brand awareness, but also it would be quite challenging because I'd have to do things like probably buy barcodes and stuff like that, which I've never done before, and you have to kind of buy a certain amount and allocate them to a product and all of that jazz. So it's a whole lot of stuff I've never done before, but that's a good thing. Wish me luck, send out good vibes to me, because I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, I don't know. I keep saying I don't stand a chance. I don't want to put that out there. I do stand a chance. But let's just see, shall we? Bit of an update on the pieces that I'm painting, guys. So this is obviously looking quite messy because it's only had one coat. So on this one I've just done like a splatter technique with the paint to give it the look of speckled clay, and then I'm putting this coat around the edge. It's going to take about 4 coats I imagine, but it will be completely opaque by the time I'm finished. I'm just having a bit of an experiment with these beads to see what I can create. So I'm doing like little coats on here. I'm just basically going with greens on all of them. And then what else? This here is the Joy one. I put a neutral tone on this, and then I'm going to go with like probably a gold around the edge, or a red maybe, but I'm just getting the back covered in the green as well. So I'm just going to do a few more coats on these, and yeah, that'll be that. I'm just sort of experimenting on this stuff, which is quite fun. And then in the middle of this one, I'm going to be doing like a little leaf, just like a single little leaf or something in the middle there. So I think that will look quite good. And then I shall get them glazed. Here's another update for you guys. I did a few more coats. I'm just working on this leafy part in the middle. There's going to be kind of like leaves, overlapping leaves within this guy. And I've also started on kind of more bead decorating. This one's coming along really nicely. It's got a few different, oops, I always struggle with the whole focus, don't I? It's got a few different botanical designs going on here, which I love. That's coming along nicely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to sand this guy, which I think is good to go. I'm going to give it a sand, and then I'm going to pop some primer on that, and I'm going to do the same. I think these ones are ready. There's this one which I showed you last time. Excuse, can you see the beautiful socks and sandals combination I'm wearing here? How adorable. Also going to sand a couple of these little decorations which I think are now ready. So I'm going to go and do that outside. I've got the door open, ready to head out there. Sand these down, add some primer, and then I can start working on these as well. They're all going to be done in basically Christmas and festive colours, using this sort of palette that I've got going on here of greens and stuff just for this collection. It'd be nice and easy. This is going to my mum, so by today this will be finished. Tomorrow I can varnish it. I also want to give her this one. Good morning, it is Wednesday, and this morning I got up, went for a walk, and then got home, had a food shopping delivery. Say hi, Gizwiz. I keep giving her my jumpers to lay on and then complaining when she gets used to them, but the other day she must have jumped down from somewhere and had quite a bad limp and a bad leg, and she was in pain. It went straight away basically within a couple of hours, but I wanted her to have something comfortable to lay on, so I gave her that jumper. What are you doing? You gonna get up here? Come on in. Come on up. You coming up? You can't lay there because I've got work to do. Get up on the desk then. Go on. Go on your other bed. I should put this blanket on my desk as well. Come on. Lay down there. Anyway, yeah, so I gave her my jumper to lay on, and now it's still there, and it's one of my favourite kind of really, really, really oversized jumpers to wear with leggings. What, darling? You can't? You want to be in the video? Hang on a minute. Let's get you in. This is a flattering angle. Let's go with this. So yeah, I went for a walk this morning, and then after the shopping had come, I sat and did the last few bits of the clay that I need to do. So the bits that I'm working on are just my first pieces. They're just really early days, and I wanted to just experiment with the varnish and the paint style and colours and stuff like that. Oh, I love you so much. I love you, do you know? So yeah, and then before I came up here just now, I've just popped some varnish on some of the pieces. I didn't actually film that, but I put some varnish on some of the pieces, and I really hope that it dries clear. It is a clear gloss varnish, really, really durable, and so I hope it dries clear because it had a slight yellowy colour to it, but it takes I mean, they say to leave it for 24 hours or 4 hours between coats, and because of the shape of the pieces I need to turn them and varnish them, so I'm really hoping that in the 4 or 5 hours time before I go to the next phase of varnishing that it's actually dried clear. Anyway, that's first world problems. Today I have quite a few things to catch up on because yesterday I ended up spending a whole day doing clay, which I shouldn't have done, but today now I'm going to sit and catch up with myself. And what are you going to do? What's on your to-do list today? What's on your to-do list? Not much. Okay, so now I'm trying to think of everything that I've got on my to-do list. I think I've got to just finish the Sweary Cats updates for the Christmas cards actually. I don't know if I missed the deadline with Thoughtful. I don't remember seeing any deadline, but then because of all the emails I've been getting to do with moving and to do with calendars and various other bits and bobs I've got going on, I think I may have missed it. But I'm going to upload them anyway and just hope that they get put on. So I need to do that. And then in terms of bigger tasks, I need to draft a newsletter and also kind of work out a newsletter strategy, because I want to send two newsletters a month, and I want one to be kind of more like these are the products I've got going on, the other one to be a bit more kind of me and behind the scenes and life and updates. So yeah, I think I've got to work out some kind of strategy, and I want to set myself a date, like every first Thursday I send this one out and every third Thursday I send this one out or something. I need to work out a bit more of a strategy. I also need to do some Instagram content and upload some new products to a couple of places where I sell online. Yeah, got some stuff to do, better get on. It's Thursday now guys, and I am just freezing cold, and I am just about to, well I am actually writing blog posts this morning. I've written myself out a whole, I think I showed you in a previous clip, like a whole calendar blocking thing. I just need to get my shit together so I'm not constantly chasing my tail and driving myself mad. I did have my shit together last year, but when I get really busy it all just goes out the window and I have to kind of almost start again. It's so frustrating. Anyway, so this morning there's been someone come round to have a look at quoting us for moving. Got another person booked, actually 2 booked for next week I think, so that's fun. Didn't get to go for my walk this morning because of that. But now, yeah, just gonna try and catch up on some admin stuff, but had a little bit of interesting news in the style of me keeping you up to date with good and bad stuff. I think I mentioned in a previous clip, I think I did, that I was going to apply to try and be a stockist at the Eden Project, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to get in, I don't think I stand much of a chance. It's such a complicated application process, truly in depth, and obviously the purpose of that is weeding out the people who aren't right and all of that stuff. But I did that on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, yesterday, I got an email back and they said that they're interested. Obviously it's subject to wholesale catalogue pricing, all of that stuff, but I've sent them my wholesale catalogue. I'm keeping everything crossed that this is gonna happen. I mean, I don't know, I would love it to happen. They are a dream stockist for me, and the other dream stockist is the National Trust. But the Eden Project for me, if I could get anything in there I would be over the moon, so keep everything crossed to me. Hopefully I'll have more news soon. I'm hoping they're going to come back to me. Yeah, I just couldn't believe I even heard back from them, let alone within 24 hours. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. So, oh my god, I'm really excited to hopefully. I mean, they said they really liked my festive stuff, my wood slices, which are obviously all hand painted, but they've already obviously booked all their Christmas stuff and bought all their Christmas stuff in for this year. But oh my god, they like my general stationery. The fact that they even like it is mind-blowing to me, because I love the Eden Project. The Eden Project is somewhere that we used to visit all the time when we were on holiday here, and then obviously we moved here. It's one of my favourite places to go. I love it there. It's such a beautiful, mindful, wonderful place to go. If you've not been and you get a chance to go, please go. I think when you buy a ticket it's valid for the rest of the year, I believe, so you can, if you come back again, you can obviously go in using that same ticket, so don't throw it away. And it's just gorgeous. I love everything about it, and the gift shop is to die for. I love gift shops. There'll be no surprise there. Right now I'm doing a blog post about stationery as gifts and how wonderful stationery is as Christmas gifts, and I'm going to carry on doing that now. I am about to embark on sanding a couple more products down, and then those ones over there are all primed. In fact, first of all, I'm going to do an experiment with this coaster and watercolour. You're not strictly meant to put watercolour on air dry clay for obvious reasons, because it kind of breaks down again with water. But what I'm going to do, I've got my spritz bottle here, and I've got my empty packet of chocolate, which I've just eaten. By the way, guys, this is ridiculously good. It's Friday, treat yourself. But yeah, I've got my hairdryer here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz this, and then I am going to drop paint on it and dry it with the hairdryer, drop paint on it, dry it with the hairdryer, and just see what happens. Worst case scenario, I have to reprime it. So I'm going to pop you on time lapse probably whilst I do that. Today is Saturday, and you may have seen from my previous clip that last night I painted 2 watercolour coasters and leaf things. I've had a bit of change of heart overnight. I kind of like the effect on it, but I wasn't overly happy. It wasn't exactly what I wanted it to look like, so I've now primed them again. I've got other plans. I just didn't feel like, because I want everything to have a theme and it look like a Leaf Lane Studio piece. So I'm just going to try again. I'm just about to sand. Finally, this pot is ready. It's taken so long to dry. So I'm going to just sand my extra things now. I'm just going to put something on Netflix and just prime everything that needs priming so I can get going and just get things done. I'm really disappointed because this leaf that I painted, I'm about to paint the inner section. I don't know if it's going to focus. There's a drawing on there. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not, because it's not focusing, is it? Anyway, there's a drawing of a leaf on there. Oh, you can see it at that angle. But the bottom has, this is all peeled paint where I've sat it on something when it's not quite dry and I've picked it up and it's all, but this is only for me. So, little trinket dish, so it doesn't matter, but I've just got to be more careful. So, gonna go on a bit of a sanding mission and then I'll paint. I've got some, the other thing I did was get some different varnish, because the varnish that I got has got a slightly yellowy tinge to it. And that's fine for coloured pieces, but not for kind of more creamy and white surfaces. So I want to try, I've got 2 that have just been dropped off. I've ordered them off Amazon. I've got one crystal clear, I'll show you actually. I've got one crystal clear satin varnish. I've tried something different, I did some research. There we go. And then the other one I got was a matte crystal clear protective coat. Obviously it's a spray one, so better for kind of more flat items probably, but I thought I'd just go for it and get those 2. So let's sand. A little bit of an update for you, because I only filmed a small amount last night, but basically now I've painted the majority of this. I've still got to clean up the edges. I've speckled these up a little bit. It really annoys me why they don't focus straight away. Anyway, yeah, speckled these up, and then I painted 2 of the coasters this kind of more dark colour green, which I really love actually. And I'm so much happier. This is so much more me. I'm glad I experimented with the other way, but really great. And then this, the only thing I didn't do with these, which is really annoying because I've not got the paint mix now, is I didn't paint the edges because I'm an idiot. But so I'm going to try and recreate this green a bit. Actually, they need another coat anyway, so that's fine. And then I've done the same with this one. I'm going to gloss these up. All of these are now, they've got some kind of base on them. They've got gesso on them, which is here. So right now I'm just going to paint the underside of these just to neaten them up a little bit. Then I'm going to let those dry. Then I shall glaze them. I need to also do the little bits of fill in these bits like I've done with the word kind here. This is an embossed little word or a printed little word, imprint. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, I've got all those things to do, and that is the plan, and then I'm going to glaze it all. Final little update in this vlog, I've just tried some of this varnish that I got from Amazon, which is this crystal clear lacquer. Because these aren't going to get water on them, they don't necessarily need to be waterproof, but I think this is meant to be really, really good for really protecting things without kind of allowing them to scratch and things. So as you can see, I've added on the dots around the edges, and I've now just lacquered the top. I've just been adding a few subsequent coats onto these, same with these, and then and just tidying up the back of them a bit, even though you're not really going to see the back of them. I'm going to varnish this one in a second as well, and then I am going to decide what beads I'm going to use on these and make those all up. And yeah, basically all these bits will be done then. So I've got about another hour's worth of stuff to do, and then I'll get them all varnished up by the end of the night, and then they'll dry overnight. Also, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this or not. Oh, look at all our birdies on the feeder. But over in the field, let me zoom in, you see these guys. The one on the left is the one that we call Cedric, and the one on the right is a new little pony that we've called Pickle. He's tiny, you can see how tiny he is. There used to be two Cedric-sized horses, like Cedric and Crinkle, we used to call them. I don't know what their actual names are, but we haven't seen Crinkle for a while, so I don't know if something's happened. But Cedric has now got a little friend. How cute. I don't know if I can come in closer. I am going to call an end to this vlog here, guys. I am all red lipped up because I'm about to do some reels. I want to do a couple of Christmassy reels, so that's why. And yeah, we'll call it here for this vlog, and I'm going to start the next one now, and I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.